Hello, everybody. This is Gertrude Matcha here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I had the pleasure of interviewing an absolutely fascinating woman coming to us all the way from Vienna. Thank you so much for the interview. I'm going to play the interview video. Welcome to our tribe. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story TV and the Her Story podcast. This is Gertrude Matcha here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating woman. Welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, how old you are, and share your story with us today.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you, Gertrude, for this opportunity, and thank you for your work. And yes, my name is Elisabeth Gabauer. I'm 42 years old. I'm the mother of 2 girls. I live in Austria, nearby Vienna, and I'm a body and soul therapist. And I'm so blessed that I can do every day the work that I love. And today I have a real wonderful life, but most of the time it never felt that way for me. It was, today it's wonderful, but most of my life it was totally different to me. Yes, and this is my story. I grew up in a small village in Austria. Everything normal, nothing special, you know. But my mother was suffering from depression my whole life. She drowned her feelings with psychotropic drugs and sometimes accompanied by alcohol. And as a child, I always felt lost, you know, because the child and mother are so close. You are one. You're so connected, and so her depressive feelings, her frustration, her grief was the grief of mine, you know. And as a child, you're a little bit narcissistic, because if your parents are happy and have a great life, you think this is all about you. You must be a good girl. And when your parents are very sad and full of anxieties and fears and grief, you think this is also about you. And at the age of 15, I think, as a teenager, my whole body turned into a state of resignation. My mind got depressed, and I had a lot to do with panic attacks and depression, and yeah, it was up and down, you know, and a lot of pain in my body. And I was very suicidal because everything getting worse. And after a break up from my first boyfriend, I attempted suicide. And I like the way my mother drowned her feelings with psychotropic drugs and alcohol. I do it that way. A lot of psychotropic drugs and alcohol, and so I attempted suicide. And but after 2 days in coma, and after an inner conversation with my brother on another level of being, you know, there was an awareness I couldn't doubt. I was full aware of everything in my life, and that was to turn the coin. And I decided to choose life. I chose life instead of death. And for me, everything changed. I started to go to therapy, to making yoga, practicing yoga, and every day I practiced meditation, and it changed everything. And I noticed that everything in life happens to you, happens for you. And due to my family history and the suffering of my mother and my suffering, my depression, and that whole stuff, I become, I that brought me to the profession of therapist. Yeah.
Wow.
And first of all, it was osteopathy, because I like the voice of the body.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you can't speak for yourself, the body will do it for you. And yes, I really love it to work with the body. And then I became a birth doula after my first daughter was born.
Mm-hmm.
I worked as a birth doula for 17 years, and I really loved it, because during the birth, you are so close to the source of life. Yeah. You are so close to sisterhood. You are so close to femininity. It's, yes, and this became, the work with women is the work of my heart. Mm. And as a birth doula, I recognized that, that sometimes life gets hard and narrow, only to give birth to a better version of yourself.
Wow, you have had an incredible journey, really incredible. Now, how old were you when your mother committed suicide?
Oh, it's just 5 years ago.
So it's quite recent.
Yes.
But up until that point, she had all of these psychological issues. You grew up seeing her really suffering.
Yes.
Wow.
And I always wanted to help her. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, she couldn't turn the tide, because her brain was too ill because of the alcohol. And she couldn't think clearly, mm-hmm. And so she committed suicide.
Wow. And how many were you and your family? You mentioned your brother.
My brother and I.
Just the two of you? Okay.
Yes.
So he played a pivotal role in this conversation you had with him, right? And this is while you were in hospital?
Yeah. I was in coma for 2 days, and I don't know how it happened. He was there with me, on another level of being.
Yes.
And I was so fully aware of everything around me. And I really recognized that I can turn the coin. And there are always two sides of the coin, you know. You are able to feel fear. You are able to be very brave. And if you are able to be frustrated, you are able to create a life full of happiness.
Yes, the choice is ours, right? We get to make that choice every single day.
Every single day, yes.
What an incredible experience. And now you are on a journey where you empower, you help women, the coaching and the mentoring, and also being a birth doula. You're right. There is that fine line between life and death, and watching a baby being born is one of the most special things in the world, right?
Yes, I love it. I love it so much. And it's all about sisterhood.
Yes.
Yes. Being is about sisterhood, and sometimes we are a lot of women and make a holy circle.
Yes. Around each other.
Around each other, and to be there for the women in her birth process.
Yeah. Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah.
That is just amazing. Now, if you were to go back and have a conversation with a young woman who had experienced her mother committing suicide, yourself going through the same trauma and wanting to commit suicide, if there's a young person who's listening to us right now in not a very good mental state of mind, what advice, 3 pieces of advice would you give them?
Don't let the environment define who you are. That's so important. Don't let the environment define who you are. And you can choose who you are and who you want to live. And life always asks you how we want to live and what kind of person we want to be.
Yes. So you have that choice. So that's one. What else?
Yeah.
What other advice can you give?
The second advice is very important. You need space for yourself. You need space for yourself without distraction, without your phone and books or music, only to become aware of your thoughts and feelings. Because if you are not aware of your thoughts and your feelings, you can't change them.
Yeah.
Can't hide. Yes.
Amazing.
And the third is become the love of your life. Have a love affair with yourself. Everything you want to get from the outside, love and peace and joy and happiness, give it to yourself.
Yeah.
Put it into yourself and become love, become peace, become joy. And we are all able to do this. We are all, my mother didn't believe in herself and I didn't believe in myself, but if you believe, you can change everything. And if you can believe that, if you love life, life will love you back. So easy.
Oh, that is a beautiful saying. If you love life, love will love you back. That's very true. Life does reward you for what you put out. We are constantly putting out that positive or negative vibration. And depending on where your focus is, you get it back.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Wow. Now, if I could now take you into the future, let's pretend that time doesn't exist. Yeah. And you could go into the future and have a conversation with 100-year-old you, that amazing woman who's lived this magical life, empowering other women. What would you say to the older you based on how you're living your life right now, this choice that you've made?
It was a party. It was a real party. Yeah, life is a party and we have to celebrate it and what would I say? It was a great party. Thank you for that. And thank you for being connected with such wonderful women. And yes, you had a party life.
It looks to me like you have touched the lives of many women. I know that giving birth is a very special occasion. My ex-husband was an obstetrician, and I know the joy that the women that whose babies he delivered. It was an experience that he said he couldn't put into words or describe, having that kind of a job and all the babies that are in the world because you were there to support their mothers. I think that's pretty special as well.
Yeah.
So you and I are involved in the book that Dr. Tirelai Trent is putting together, the anthology, The Sacred Promise. How did you meet Dr. Tirelai Trent? How did you get involved in this project?
Mm-hmm. I bought her book, Awakening Woman, years ago.
Right.
And then I was a follower on Instagram, and I read about her foundation, the
Yes.
International Foundation, and that was so great for my heart to read how she supports other women.
Yes.
And
yes.
And I know that this is so important for us women to empower us.
Each
And
other.
so yeah. And so I started to, I don't know the word in English, to I spent money on it, you know, on the foundation. And
Okay. So you
Austria,
were contributing towards
yes,
the foundation. Okay.
there were a lot of women who helped me to get money for this foundation.
Yes.
So I get into contact with Dr. Terry Trent, and yes, and so it started. And then I was informed about the book Sacred Promise, and I noticed for me that is the right time to do this. So it was
so perfect.
Yes.
I'm very excited that she's managed to get women from all over the world. You're in Vienna. I'm in New Zealand, Australia. I've been interviewing some of the other authors as well. We're scattered all over the world. What would be beautiful if we could all come together and celebrate the formal book launch.
We should.
I think we should all go to New York and be with her when the book launches. That would be pretty special. Well, I'm really excited to have met you. I know that the sisterhood that she has brought us together will last for a long time in our lives. I just want to thank you for your contribution for helping educate little girls in Zimbabwe. I was one of those little girls. I grew up there. I was born there. And the power of education for a young woman can completely change your life. It gets you out of poverty. So thank you. I'm so excited that we've met this way, and we're going to journey with Dr. Tererai Trent and bring this amazing book to the world. Now, I know that we're all individually trying to sell books. Where can people buy copies of your book?
Yeah, at my homepage,
Okay.
elisabethgabauer.at. And you can on Instagram and Facebook.
Right.
You write to me and I will send you then the copy. And on Amazon, yeah, that's the way.
All right. So type in the chat the website where people can find you and pre-order the book. And then what I will do is when I edit this video, I will make sure that your website link or wherever people can find you is on the interview. So everybody, please support. I know we've got quite a few people in Vienna, in Germany, in Europe, who are wanting to buy Dr. Tererai Trent's book. Just remember that every single copy that we are selling is going towards raising money to educate young girls from Zimbabwe to get higher education in the United States. Dr. Trent is setting up an education fund that is going to transform the lives of many, many, many young women. So please go on to Elisabeth's website, pre-order a copy. And once the book comes out, I think we said in June, you will get your copy. So we're trying to sell or pre-sell as many books as possible. So Elisabeth, thank you so much for contributing your story. Thank you for being a part of this amazing movement. Like I said, I'm excited that we will meet in person very, very soon, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Thank you so much, Gertrude, for your work. It's incredible. It's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I will be back again tomorrow with yet another amazing guest. Have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Bye for now.